Hey guys, John V from PhoneArena here. You're watching our video comparison between the Samsung Galaxy S6 and the LG G3. Okay, we know that the G3 has been out for quite some time now, being LG's flagship, and potential successors on the horizon, but it's only fitting to pit it against the Galaxy S6 right now because it is the current flagship device. It's old per se, but don't count it out. It actually established some key things in today's smartphones, like the Quad HD display. It's one of the first, and it continues to be an astounding handset. So let's find out how it stacks up against the Galaxy S6. Hands down, the better looking handset here in this comparison is going to be the S6. It just has a premium quality that can't be matched by the G3's plastic body. So with the S6, you have the glass surfaces on the front and back, sandwiched together with the metal trim bezel. It has a nice compact, footprint, and it just looks pretty cool with the way light bounces off its surfaces. It has a very dazzling feel. And on top of that, it just looks amazing. The G3 though has a plastic body. It kind of mimics the styling of a metal brush finish with the rear casing, but it is indeed plastic, so not quite as premium per se. It's a little bit wider. But for a handset sporting a 5.5-inch display, it's pretty compact on its own. We will give LG credit for the fact that you could still remove the back cover to gain access to the battery, and you still have a micro SD card slot to increase its storage capacity. Now, they both share some similar characteristics. For example, you have the IR blaster on the top edge, but they have their own unique ones as well. So with the S6, you have the fingerprint sensor, you have the heart rate sensor, and built-in wireless charging. As for the G3, what we have here, of course, like I said, the micro SD card slot, you have the laser focus auto assist, and you also have the power and volume controls placed on the back side. So it's a little bit more convenient to access than the S6. The displays are wonderful too, both Quad HD resolution. You have a 5.1-inch Quad HD Super AMOLED display in the S6, and in the G3 you have a larger 5.5-inch Quad HD IPS LCD display. Now, even though technically on paper it's the S6 that has the better pixel density count, but in all fairness, when you look at the two from normal distance, even up close and personal, they have pretty much the same level of detail, pretty sharp. Now, the S6 display, though, has more favorable qualities. They include things like the more ideal color temperature of 6550 Kelvin versus the the higher 7100 Kelvin color temperature of the G3, and also has the higher brightness output and is also more color accurate than the G3. So all told, there's just a lot more going with the Super AMOLED display of the S6. Now, if we look at their respective Android experiences, two totally different experiences. You have LG's skin on top of Android, and then you have TouchWiz, the latest version of TouchWiz. We do like the fact that LG's custom UI is straightforward, and with this year's offering, they have a more pleasing look to it. It doesn't look as cartoony compared to previous iterations, and it has a very nice, almost modern look to it with the way that they use the different colors. But of course, TouchWiz has been toned down significantly from previous iterations. You see that in the visual presentation and also the software set. Now, honestly, both experiences will get the job done. They have a host of different and very useful things, from their enhanced multitasking experience to other things. They're gonna please even power users, so no issues with that. In terms of their processing power, they're both really responsive. The S6 is powered by Samsung's 64-bit base octa-core Exynos chipset versus the G3, which is running an older Qualcomm Snapdragon 801 processor. Now, on the surface, the two are pretty fast and quick with basic things, but when we, if we look at it a little bit deeper, we do notice that there's a little bit more finesse with the S6, and that is partly because of the newer chipset. And in terms of gaming, the S6 proves to be a little bit more advantageous just because it's better able to handle all that heavy processing than the G3. Now, if we take a look at their respective cameras, we flip them around. The Samsung Galaxy S6 has a 16 megapixel camera with an aperture of f1.9 with its lens. Meanwhile, the LG G3 is still respectable. It has a 13 megapixel main camera in the back, and it has an aperture of f2.4. Now, honestly, you won't be disappointed by the qualities of both. They take some amazing looking photos. outdoors, indoors, low lighting, you won't be disappointed. The G3's production has slightly more warmer tone to it. Now the G3, like we said, is a fantastic phone for all sorts of occasions, but it just seems as though the S6's camera is just a little bit better to a certain degree in certain areas. And honestly, overall, if we had to pick, you won't be disappointed by it too, but you'll probably find the S6's results a lot more favorable looking. Now, the same can be said about their video recording quality. You have both 1080p and 4K resolution. The S6, again, takes the gold just because it just takes the more detailed and color correct videos overall. As far as their multimedia experiences, again, both are equipped in handling the occasion with their beautiful looking displays. Videos come to life. We do like the adaptive mode of the S6's display just because it boosts the contrast and even the color saturation to make videos become a little bit more vibrant. And when it comes to their audio output, it's technically the G3 that produces the stronger output. Its speaker emits 81 decibels of power versus 73.7 decibels with the S6. As far as call quality, we wouldn't say one is totally better than the other, and honestly, we classify their qualities to be rather average. They have their own set of great things about them, at the same time, some of their own displeasing things as well, but overall, they're going to be more than equipped at handling the job. Battery life, the S6 carries a 2550 milliamp hour battery. The G3 has a 3000 milliamp hour battery. Of course, larger display, it has two, and with Quad HD will require more juice. In our battery benchmark tests, the S6 manages to deliver the longer battery life, 7 hours and 14 minutes versus 6 hours and 14 minutes with the G3. So a full hour difference. And of course, you could kind of attribute the larger display size of the G3 to be behind that. But then again, there are some optimizations, and the power efficiency of the Exynos chip has something to do as well in giving the S6 the edge. If you want something new, cutting edge, refreshing, and top-notch, go with the Samsung Galaxy S6. It's the latest and greatest from Samsung's camp, and it shows why it is the flagship device to beat. It's specs heavy, it's awesome in a variety of different key categories, and has a very premium quality to it, which is great for a handset this caliber. But if you're more on a budget, you can pick up the LG G3. Don't count it out still. It has some impressive spec sheet, especially one of the first devices to feature the Quad HD screen, and it still runs reasonably well in all the major departments. And nowadays, you can pick it up significantly less, and depending on who you go to, you could even grab it for as low as free with a 2-year contract. So if you guys want to learn more about either device, you could check out our website, PhoneArena.com. It's John V. Thanks for watching.